Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, this is Travis Semulin Sours. I'm feeling a little bit better today. Yesterday I was kind of sleepy and stupid, and today I'm not. Well, I guess not isn't the right word, but further away from it than I used to be. So we've got a couple good uncommons here. I do really like Zimone in Quandrix, but in the YouTube video we did just yesterday, I mentioned that I think her and the Honor Troll are rewards for getting into their deck rather than reasons to get into them. It's kind of hard for me to say no to a Lightning Bolt. This is back in the day when removal was... We've said recently that, like, removal either needs to be incredibly cheap or get you a 2-for-1. Lightning Bolt is incredibly cheap. That's good. Is Stadium just a meme? I do believe so, yes. This is not a card I want to be looking to do. It's basically sort of giving your creatures infect at the cost of a card, but Lightning Bolt seems like a good place to start. If we need to get off of it, we'll get off of it, but whatever. Now, in a normal format, you could think, well, I'll just take the Heated Debate and stay more open. And I suppose you could do that. Except you're not going to pair black with green or black. It has to go with white or blue. And it's not that I would mind a Heated Debate. I'm just wondering if I would like this Past Caller more. And I could see some argument for the Spectacled Mage, which is fine. I have nothing against Spectacled Mages. I just really feel like when I've been focusing on the uncommons, I've been happier about it. Yeah, I think I'm happy taking this Past Caller here and seeing where we go. We might be able to wheel a Guiding Voice or a Twin Scroll Shaman if Lorehold is open, and if it's not, we'll move. Okay, Culmination of Studies and Wormhole Serpent and Overgrown Arch are kind of better than anything we've been doing. So this is where I'm still not quite sure in the format exactly what direction we're supposed to take. Because we could take a Pigment Storm and kind of force Lorehold stuff. Or we could take this rare and see what we can do with it. So this is an X spell where I'm going to draw cards, deal damage to opponent, and get extra lands. That seems fine, but like I've closed out a... I was about to say this in a way that I can't say on my stream. I've closed out a significant number of games with Wormhole Serpent. Good morning, Andy. Yeah, I feel like this is good. I feel like this is what you build an entire deck around, and this is a fine way to close out a game. I'm actually going to take the Arch. If Witherbloom is open, I think I'm going to be incredibly happy that we made this decision. And if it's not, again, we can just move along. This is super awkward, right? Because we've got Heated Debate, Academic Dispute, and Mortality Spear. I feel like Mortality Spear is kind of suggesting Witherbloom is the direction to go. Take the rare. Like, after looking at it, I'm not entirely sure what it's doing other than drawing a bunch of cards, maybe pinging my opponent some. I also have really come to like Academic Dispute, but I don't think I need to take them early. Because, like, we're getting signals that, okay, we could get into Prismari here if we want to with various cards, or we could latch onto this Arch. I think I like having the option. Okay. That's a Devouring Tendrils and a Rite of Exodus, both of which I like a good bit in Witherbloom. But I think we're trending towards Witherbloom here. We haven't really seen any white cards, basically in the entire pack. But we've got, like, the build around for this color pair, plus 2 solid removal spells in the color pair. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Right, and there is the Wombo combo. You play the Arch, then you play the Blood Researcher, then you do the thing with the stuff. So I think we're going to be Witherblooming it here. And sadly letting these two go, but that's okie day. Okie day. This pack have Arcane Subtraction, Bury in Books, Curate, a lot of good stuff. Like, I'll certainly play Crushing Disappointment, and believe it or not, we could play Village Rites in this deck if I get enough pest tokens, but I would kind of want to have them first. I'm going to trust the signals we're taking and take Crushing Disappointment. I've played this a couple times in this deck, and it's been okay. All right. Again, I said I might play a Village Rites, and we might. Honor Troll went all the way around the table. And like I said, I feel like this is a reward for being in this color pair, not a reason to go into it. This is kind of exactly where we'd want to hit it. We've kind of got mini life gain synergies going on. Ooh, Infused with Vitality I like a lot. Like a lot. The Guiding Voice wheeled out of this pack too. So did Introduction to Prophecy, which is fine. But I feel like we've got us a decent Witherbloom deck coming together here. And we could conceivably splash for this. Like, if the mana is good enough, I don't see why we wouldn't. It's a nice way to force through the last few bits of damage. Yeah, this is quite a good combat trick. It's basically, we've had the 1 mana one from Cat, and they reprinted it at 2 mana in Kaldheim and a core set recently. But this is that. The creature comes back, and you gain a life. So, like, it's better than that, and it should be. It's more cost restrictive. Was it Demonic Gifts, Unnatural Endurance, whatever you want to call it? But like, this is that, and the reason that it can be better than that is because it is forcing you into the 2-color pair. That's one of the things that like makes gold cards better, is that they're more cost restrictive. These are both quite good cards. I doubt we're going to have enough blue mana for us to splash the elemental summoning, but there's not much else here that I think we'd actually play. So I'll take it. Yeah, these are pretty late blue cards, although I don't think any of them are actually amazing. Depending on where our deck goes, we could play an ingredient. I'm kind of making like a maybe pile here. All right, so this pack have for us Witherbloom Apprentice, which I'm quite interested in, and not actually much else. There's some possibility that we could wield a Pledge Mage or a Groff, but I think people are really valuing those. I'm feeling better today, Rusty, but I slept for 12 hours. Like, just clonk. And then I woke up very sore. But after doing my morning chores and having some coffee and a banana, praise banana, I feel a little better. I think we're pretty happy to get the Apprentice here. Making all of our removal spells also trigger the Researcher is cool. And now I think we just want to find like 3 more Researchers. Divine Gambit's not bad, but not for us. Mage Hunter's Onslaught is probably what we're going to take here. If we were already splashing blue, one could make an argument that this would fit right in, but I don't think I want it. I suppose you could look at the Quandrix Campus. But I think we would just play the Onslaught. Yeah, there's a chance I could wheel the Campus or the Infuse. I'm probably actually wheeling the 2/4. And I hope we don't end up playing that, because our removal suite's looking quite good right now. There's a Rise of Exodus. Exodus, I have mentioned this card a couple times. I think this is way better than I initially thought it was, and I'm taking it here. This is all the removal spells we're going to need. So I kind of want to fill things out with creatures. That means we could play the ingredient, maybe the Village Rites if we have to. And I need to grab some lessons. Because we've got 2 learn cards now and nothing realistically to grab with them. You can still rummage, so like I'd rather have more learn cards and not enough lessons than the other way around. Sleep of the Dead? Huh. I don't know about that, man. I'm still alive. I hope I am. I don't think I believe in much of an afterlife, but if there was one and it's just doing what you normally do, that would be kind of weird. I like the Eye Witch and I like the Professor. The Eye Witch is giving me an additional learn card. But I don't really have anything to go get with these. I feel like the lessons are getting gobbled up. And I feel like we need solid creatures, and Borderland Minotaur with upside seems like a pretty solid creature. Professor is better? I don't think so in the blind. But I think for the deck that we're looking for right now, we would rather have the Professor. All right, I'm going to grab this Inkling Summoning. Even though I think we would be happy with the Colony, the Mage Hunter, the Spectre, and the Amplifier. I think we'd be quite happy with all of those. But I've already got 2 learn cards and no lessons. And this is one that we could easily play. The reanimation spell is pretty slick. Yep. All right, there's another Blood Researcher. I like Mage Duel. I think we would probably play either of these, and we might even play a Cram Session. But with 2 of these, we've got kind of a solid plan going here. And I'd like the Mage Duel, but I feel like we've already got... We're pretty good on the removal suite. Leyline Invocation gives us a random large thing. This gives us something that we could gain life with, but I've been pretty unhappy playing this in Witherbloom. I speculated that this would be better than you thought it would be in Witherbloom, and then after actually playing with it some, it kind of wasn't. We could take a random 6 mana 6/6, which is fine, I guess. I don't think I actually want it. It's conceivable we could play this. It goes in the maybe pile. Environmental Sciences seems like it would be nice to have, especially if we're thinking about splashing the Wormhole Serpent. I think I'm pretty comfortable with that, and it gives us 2 lessons. That's a late pop quiz. Yeah, we're short a few playables here, but I can get behind Expanded Anatomy. I was looking for the pest summonings and such, and we just kind of haven't gotten them. So we wheeled the Karok, which we expected. I'll play 2 Infuse with Fatalities. I just need to make sure we have enough bodies to put it on. So the second one goes into the maybe pile. Although, interestingly, it won't let me put 1 in the maybe pile and 1 in the not maybe pile. Maybe we decide to splash a white card instead, or just play it. There's a Cram Session, which I've already got enough stuff to go get. I think we're going to play this. Sacrifice a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. I don't think we're playing that. We could conceivably play the Letter of Acceptance, though. I don't think I'm playing 2 Crams unless we get a lot of lessons. So I kind of want to make sure we can get 2 drops. More Blood Researchers would be nice too. This lets me search for 4 creature cards with different names that each have mana value. So if we have enough creatures, we could do this. It also searches your graveyard, so it's never going to be dead. I was just like, I don't know that this deck is actually playing enough creatures for me to utilize it. Zephyr Boots I've been particularly impressed with, but we don't really have that many bodies to put it on. What is statistically not good? I would beware paying too much attention to statistics. I mean, Urza's Rage is a pretty reasonable splash too, but I think I do actually want the boots. Do I just want a Moldering Karok here? Because I think I kind of do. Like, we just need bodies. I don't think I tried the Wrangler yesterday and I didn't care for it. I would beware valuing the statistics. Because generally speaking, with cards like that, you'll end up with this. Yeah, I think we want the Karok. You'll end up with people who are using the card incorrectly or playing it when they shouldn't be. That card is powerful and it's good. I don't think we're set up to take advantage of it because of a low creature count. I think a lot of people will take it because it's a mythic and jam it in their deck and then not understand why they're losing with it, which will lead to it statistically looking bad. If you want to really impress me, go look up whether Offspring's Revenge was statistically bad or not. All right, I think I just want this campus, and we're going to accept that we're playing this guy and probably these. You're getting back 2 creatures. It's literally a 2-for-1. You're never going to be unhappy with it. Harmonize is another thing you're never going to be unhappy with. Although I want the hunt for specimens, I may not need to splash literally anything in this deck if it keeps going like this. Holy carp, that's great. All right, another blood researcher versus a brackish trudge. Not been crazy impressed with the trudge, even if you do the thing. I kind of just want the blood researcher at this point. All right, we're probably just in the scenario where we need bodies, and a 3/2 is fine, if unexciting. Because I don't think we're playing any of this. I don't have enough creatures to be playing the combat tricks. I've already got a combat trick I don't really need. Pledge Mage is nice. That gives us something that is fat. And I think we were looking for some fat. Alright, so another Exodus. I've got Summonings, Environmental Sciences, and Expanded Anatomy. I don't really have enough lessons to be crazy excited about another Rise. I think I just want the fat. All right, we got us another Karok too. I think this will actually round the deck out nicely. I'm not always happy with Pledge Mage, and some of our spells are quite expensive. I need to balance. I'm going to put this cram session over here. I still think we're going to play it, but I need to kind of balance the amount of creatures we have with the amount of learn cards we have with the amount of lessons we have. I've played Adventurous Impulse in decks like this before. Could we conceivably go 9 green with this? I think we could. The problem is I'm still creature short, so I don't think it's going to be great, but sure. There's another body we could play if we need to. But I agree, generally speaking, statistics are good, but knowing when to get off of them is also a good thing. That really came together at the last minute, didn't it? So like I said, I would beware of not valuing statistics, but I would also beware of overvaluing statistics. You've kind of got to make your own determination. All right, so this is leaving us with... Can I do lesson here? And just see how many lessons we have? We have 2 that I'm particularly interested in getting and 1 that we could get. And from the deck, we have learn cards, Exodus, and the Wall, which I probably would not often want to pop. So it's conceivable that we could want a cram session so that we could functionally get all of these if we wanted to. Like, there's no way for us to cast this, and I'm not going to try to build the deck in such a way that we could. So I think cram session could be okay. There's a possibility we could make a Village Rites work. The card I'm talking about is not generally bad in this format. Unless you have played hundreds more games than me. That is a powerful effect. It's a 2-for-1. I will agree it's weaker here than it normally would be, because the power level of this set is through the roof. But I don't think you can look at that card and say that that's not good. We could afford another Infuse with Vitality here. Because I did actually end up with enough creatures that we could pull that off. That's a lot of combat tricks, but it's a really good one. I think I want to give this a go. Let's do our Stream Raiders battle. That said, I'm trying to get rid of hyperbole when I talk about Magic, and I don't think I'm actually helping in that particular scenario. So I'm saying the card is incredibly powerful. It's not. It's a pretty good 2-for-1. I don't know if I want to play the off-color land for the Scribe, but it is something to think about. I don't think it's pretty meh, but that's where what Night Gamer was saying, like it's format dependent. It's not incredibly powerful. And I'm saying it's incredibly powerful. It's not. It's just a solid value card. I think there's room for it in the format. I don't think it's a bomb. I don't think it's winning you the game. Adam with the kills and assists. Thanks for the carry. Rewards for Urberk and Wee Wizard. I think I would. It's asking you to jump through some hoops, and I think if I had a deck that had kind of already jumped through the hoops and then we open it, let's go. But opening at pack 3, I don't really want to mess with it. That's probably a more nuanced way of looking at the card, which I think is more valuable. Maybe we can't afford to play one tap land for the scry. And I think I'm okay with 17 here, because we can just, like, that's another thing we can do with the learn. It's not a bomb, though. It's functionally reanimate 2 things of your opponent's choice, but you can make it a bad choice for them. Like, it's a good card. I just don't think you have to play it every time. Yeah, I think I can afford one of these and be pretty happy with it. Let's see how this does. I don't think I need to splash the blue card, although I could. This looks like it'll work. Let's take it out for a spin. They still haven't fixed... Oh, they fixed them. I can use my Witherbloom sleeves now. Neat. I don't remember the name of the card. It's one of the rares. It basically reanimates 2 things. Your opponent gets to choose what they are. It's not situational, and it doesn't have to have 7+ cost. Does it really? Because you can get 2 drops. You can get 3 drops. You need to have 2 drops that do something in the late game, but we have that. We would be okay playing it in this deck. I don't think it's as hard to build around as y'all are thinking. They have to have different names. Yes, you get to pick from the deck and the graveyard. This is not a powerful opener, but it's certainly an acceptable one. Oh, I feel so much better today. I could not pay attention yesterday. That's nice. It feels good to feel good, man. It's also incredibly early in the format, Gamer, but like, how powerful is a particular mythic? It's just not going to come up that often. There's a chance they've got a removal spell like Flonk, and they're looking to get me after I equip the boots. With the Infused with Vitality, that means I want to attack first and not equip the boots, because I don't really need the loot right now, even though I'd be happy to have it. But if they're going to look to kill it on my turn, and we can use that Infused, that's fantastic. Well, I'm looking back on the draft and thinking it may have been a mistake for me not to take the card. Because I think this deck ended up being able to use it. We basically got all of our creatures in the last pack. It would have been a bit of a gamble, but what did I take over it? I could infuse with Vitality and Devouring Tendrils to just kill this now, which is not bad. Zooboy? Yeah, I might have been better off the other way. Like, I'm 2 for 1ing myself this way, but then we get to untap and harmonize, as well as have the loot. It's not really how I wanted to use this. I could also sacrifice this and fight it with the Biograph, but I think in the end I'm happy enough just playing the Biograph. If I hit a land, I could also just cut the infuse. Because we didn't play a land this turn, right? Oh man, I really need to know that. I don't think I did. It's like getting to untap and harmonize with 8 power on the board when they're at 10 seems pretty good to me. I mean, it doesn't make much sense for green to be able to do that, but I'm certainly happy they can. I mean, there's kind of only one problem with that line, my friend, and they saw it. I think it would have been a gamble. I think the deck would have been better with it, but like it's a solid value card. I think it would be filling a similar role as Harmonize. I'm feeling better today, Wallet. I'm feeling a lot better today. I slept for 12 hours. Huh. I ended the stream yesterday. I took a nap. Simwife got home. We watched Star Trek Discovery, which continues to just blow my mind. And then we went to bed at a reasonable time and I slept for 12 hours. Yeah, I think it's from the Time Spiral block. That'll work. All you got to do is get your second COVID shot, Laura, and it'll put you right to sleep. Even if that's not what you want. I could have sworn Harmonize was in one of the color shifted sets, but I could be crazy. I sure would like to keep Infused with Vitality up. What if we just harmonize this turn, and then next turn we can play this and have Infuse up? I think I dig that. That's fair, Lore. That's fair. I'm very fortunate. Well, I'm also like middle-aged, upper middle age, right? But I'm also very fortunate that my country seems to have some things in order now. Oh, dude, I'm sorry to hear that, Laura. That sucks. Where are you at? Are you in the US or Europe? France. Okay, I think I knew that. I think you had mentioned that before, is probably a better way for me to say that. I don't think I want to block that right now. Dude, that's awful. I'm sorry, Lore. Glad to hear it, Taylor. Now, you're an American in the UK, right? I seem to remember you moving over there. An American abroad. I should have given more thought to killing Rutha than I did. Well, that's because you're French. Yeah, it seems like Israel really did a good job with this. Morning, John. I think this is a good enough use of it. Especially if we're going to get that. That seems super swell. I kind of still want to kill Rutha before things get incredibly out of control. So I think I'm going to. And I'm kind of okay if they want to trade these two. That's fine. Look at me. I am the beatdown. Sounds good, Lord. Good morning, John. We have some good food in the United States, Ajani. You take that back. We are not known for our good food. I'll give you that. However, we do have some good food. We have generally bad government. This makes their burying books a little awkward because, like, they can handle one of the threats, but I can still get the loots. How did I know they had burying books? Oh, I played the format enough. I can play the Groff, or I can play the Apprentice and the Blood Researcher. I think knowing that I'm already going to top deck a Researcher means that you don't really need this one. right, let's switch it up. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. That would be our 8th land, which would make this a 4/4 reach, which is significant. But I'd kind of rather do this. It puts them in a really awkward spot. Swamp Falcor. Huh. The never-ending story. Well, I mean, wouldn't a researcher spend a lot of time in a library? Can you guys tell I feel better today? Because I can tell I feel better today. I feel like I have energy again. I did not have any energies yesterday. I had no energies. I was depleted. I feel significantly less depleted now. What food have y'all got that's illegal here? I don't know that I knew that. Foie gras? What's that? I can tell you I listened when I go out for my walk yesterday. You can tell today it's better. Yeah. Fatty goose liver. All right. Real cheese curds are illegal in the U.S. There's apparently, I don't know about, a lot I don't know about food. There's not a scenario in which that just wins, is there? Because I could move the boots over to this, chonk in for 2. What happens if I swing team? They chump this, they eat something, they take 4, and then swing back for 8. But I'm going to gain life twice when I cast this, once off of the trigger here. So this is a 4/4. 4 plus 2 is 6. I think they're dead unless they got something. They might have something. If it's another burying books, I'm probably dead. I hope it's a burn spell. Well, I guess I don't hope it's a burn spell, but we'll see what they do here. That's not going to work. I mean, I appreciate your efforts, but not how that works. This is leaving you dead. Which I'm sure, I'm pretty happy with that. You can die if you want to. Okay, this is where the burying books is kind of getting me. So how do I make sure we're alive on the way back? probably take out the Prismari apprentices as their biggest creature and just accept that Home Slice isn't making it. I could save the apprentice, but then I'm taking 4, 5, 6. We're taking 12. I can't do that because we're going to go up to 11. We're going to go to exactly 12. I can't take 12. So I think it's actually the colony we have to save. So our plan from here would be to get them with the Flying Menace next turn if they can't kill me, which they might be able to do. And we could even scry for some cheap action and begin a turn if we wanted to. Like, I don't think drawing the Groff is exactly what we're going to want, but we'll see. I'm feeling much better today, Steve. There's a number of burn spells that will just kill me here. I kind of hope they don't have them. I think I should have moved the Zephyr Boots to the colony because they're both lethal. Yeah, that'll do it. That is a mythic rarity card. Yeah, it is. But I mean, there's other ways to deal direct damage. Like they could have just had Igneous Inspiration, I think would have killed me there too. Like there's plenty of ways they could kill me from there, but I feel like that was our line. We have something close to lethal on board and a trick to back it up. You probably try it. Maybe not. Maybe I was a little reckless there. Shock's basically a rare, but there's plenty of stuff that would have killed us. You think my line is butt? Thanks, Vel. Is it though, John? Is it really? Because if it's twice as rare as a normal uncommon, doesn't that make it a rare? Does it show up as often as the other uncommons in the set? The rares and mythics are twice as often. How does that work? Seems sus, is what I'm trying to say. This hand is ugly, but I believe. I believe in life after love, after love, after love, after love. Really don't think it's strong enough, no. They're replacing the land slot. I mean, it's about what you would expect. It's sort of like a 3-mana 3/3. We've played with 2/4s before. Pretty spiny. I don't disagree. This looks like they're trying to get me with the Burying books. But I'm kind of okay with that. Main deck. All right. Someone is missing land drops, and it pleases me. I'm trying to decide if I want to rise of Extus their forest. Probably not now. Oh, devouring tendrils and harmonize in the same turn would be quite nice. Do you think we can risk hitting a forest? If I'm going to draw 3 cards, we should probably be able to find a forest, because that seems really nice. If we don't, I'll feel a little stupid, but we'll still have lines for next turn. They still don't have a good block for this. That's fine. Because tendrils plus infuse next turn should be pretty spicy. The end of the same rarity as a normal uncommon. Okay. I take all my criticism back. We should have played around shock. Oh, I feel so much better. I like it. I would like to continue to feel better. It feels good to feel good, is what I'm saying. All right, so I would like to tendril something out of the way. That would be swell. I could probably get a tendrils and an infuse with vitality off this turn. Okay, seems like it's pretty good. Yeah, the right option may be not to produce content when I'm as messed up as I was yesterday, because I can tell it was not a good stream. I think that's something I've got to get more comfortable with, is like, if I don't feel well, it's okay to take a day. If I get to rank 1024, what's 1024 about? And how far do I have to go from that? Binary number? Oh, Andy's username. Duh. What if we hit Andy's mom's username? Those corn dogs. Mosef with the kills, Zacharian with the assists, rewards for Blauhorn, Atomaniac, Wee Wizard, and Fasty Dave. What if we hit your mom's username? You have to type your social security number in chat. Sorry. I don't know if that's funny or not, if it's okay for me to make jokes like that. Gigabyte? Thank you, Cyril. Believe in life after love, after love, after love, after love. This is obviously a parody. No need to call the DCMA. Just trying to share some joy with you guys and gals today. Yeah, fair enough, Frothy. And maybe that's some of what I'm getting to, because I've still got a little bit of brain frog. And my tongue still hurts. I think I've played this opponent. I've certainly played this opponent before. I don't know if this is the same deck they had when I played them. This happened in the video yesterday. I played this exact same opponent twice, and they beat me twice, and it sucked, and I didn't like it. Yep, it's the same opponent with the same deck. Come on, Arena. We've talked about this. This is literally the Prismari deck that beat me already in this pairing. I don't much care for that. It's like brain chicken. It's not quite like best of 3 though, Brian, because it isn't best of 3. If they beat me twice, I'm down 2 games on my run. I don't like playing the same opponent twice in a run. It sucks. It's funny that it's the same person that got me yesterday. You got a bad matchup? Here, have another. Enjoy your bad matchup. They've got like 5 Burying books that we need to worry about, making it pretty difficult to establish board presence and pretty difficult to use their combat tricks if they have any mana up. Not to mention a mythic ginormous spell. Fortunately, I don't think there's much they can have for a single red, so that's sort of fine. And I can currently race adjacent this. Yeah, this was the same one where we were like, we should play around Shock. Should certainly play around Shock. Yeah, but the Burying Book Parade is about to get started. Which is somewhat difficult for us to counter. It will, Cyril. It will. This is better than how we were matched up against them before, but again, they got some good stuff. See, Gamer gets it. Miss a land drop. Miss it. Huzzah. All right, I feel pretty comfortable killing it now, but I don't have to do it right this second. You don't need this in your bin. I can see the appeal of it. It hasn't been, I'll say it hasn't been terrible. How's that? That's about the best I can say for it. They're playing like they didn't draw enough stuff. And their line here is to bury in books into something something. I don't think there's a board wipe in red blue, no. I can see the appeal of laddering. I still get frustrated by the dollar amount. Alright, well, let's just make you do the thing then. Just make some chomp. Go to 2. And I can't cast that, but I wanted to. I really wanted to. Draconic Intervention, fair. So they could Draconic Intervention me here. And not kill my 5/5. Because this isn't going to do it. That's actually why I exiled it. I totally remembered that. Okay, fine. Practical Research is 5. They might have double bury. But I'll just play another lethal threat and then draw them back again. They could also have Snow Day. I think they had that in the previous game. I can't remember if that was yesterday or today. Bury in book is actually not a bounce. It's a tuck. Bury in book is 3 mana. In this scenario. Okay. That's pretty good. There's their mythic. I should have played the swamp. It was a mistake. I'm used to holding lands. The last set had a Mine Rot. This one kind of doesn't. But I certainly should have played it. Oh, I couldn't harmonize, but I should have played it. Let's see if we got him dead first. Alright, so I probably do want this dead, but it doesn't do much now. They got a way to kill my flyers. They're going to go to 1. We're going to harmonize first, and then probably still need to Mortality Spear that. Well, if I do it next turn, they just die. Okay, I like that. Of note, if we had the other spell, it would have been lethal. You could cast it for X is 0, right? Oh, they're going to be ticked. This is great. Bye-bye! We could have equipped a pest, and that might have been funnier, but oh, darn it, 1029. I'm trying, Andy. Hey, at least it's not the same opponent again. I'm glad I beat him that time. That was tough. This hand is ugly. And yet we keep. What a cute little squirrel. I like it when they miss land drops. It doesn't quite work like I want it to, but it's close. I don't think I want to fire this off this turn. Stop killing my dude. I was using that. I gotta let something go and I don't want to. I guess my own professor is a little better here, because if I want to professor their professor, I can do that. Sorry, Groff. I'm gonna miss you. I mean, I could just get rid of the tendrils and play all of it, right? That seems pretty good to me, too. And then we just have Mortality Spear left over for something big to kill. Seems weird, but... he's a good boy. I love the idea of leaving Mortality Spear up. I should play this out. Because we do have some incentive to get to 8 with this guy in play. So like, say they go for a fight spell or something here and we can Mortality Sphere in response. That's pretty exciting. I wonder if I just want to gobble that up. Because that sort of seems like their most... I can make them chump with this. Do I care about that? I don't think so. I think whatever they're looking to do with Ruth, I don't want them to do. This land already just gets me a 4/4, but let's see if we can just win the game now. Do I need an honor troll? I can have a 4/4 or I can have a 2/3. I guess this is kind of the same thing, just divided over 2 bodies, so sure. Yeah, I think Zephyr Boots is just actually quite good. They're in a position now where they need to take out the Groff and the Zoomancer, or at least have a flying blocker. And I can still top deck a land and kill them. That's not bad, because they can do that at instant speed. I can make them do it on the Professor, though, which is kind of cute. Keep the bigger one. Not that that matters a lot, but why not? And that's just what they'll do. And one of these days, these boots are gonna fly all over you. What do I not want them to get back? Probably that. Now, are they just dead to an Inkling? They're kind of just dead to anything, so we may as well, like, gain some life here. Well, I do need it to be a... Well, we can make the 4/4 do that. Because I don't have to block with the 4/4. And with any luck, I can kill him with it. I'm certainly going to try. With this much mana, I think it's okay to scry here. Because infused with more vitality would be kind of nice. This is 2 to equip, right? Yeah. Five damage. So if I keep it, we're going to gain 3. We're going to chump here. And they're going to draw exactly what they want. I think I still have to keep it. I just think this probably leads to me dying. That's a good card too. We got him real close, but I don't think we quite got there. So if I block, I'd need to block this. This is threatening the most damage. So we'd be taking 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that's not technically lethal. I guess we just draw because they can either beat this or they can't, and I don't have anything that's going to change it. We probably do want to equip the boots, though. Neat. Except for boots, ladies and gentlemen. 1029. I started that at 1029, and through our victory, we got to rank 1029. Nice. That's the satisfaction you get from ladder play and ranking up. You can be at 1029, win a game, a very close game, through tight play, and then rank up to 1029. Secret Elo. Secret Elo. Yeah, it's nice when the games feel meaningful, like ranking from 1029 to 1029. I understand Al Gore's rhythms. That's how the internet started. Mist, thank you for the resub. Y'all spam some cats for Mist. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. Hope things are well in your world, my friend. Ugh. I do not like mulliganing in limited, and yet now I have to. This we can keep. It can get us out of the mulligan. I think I'm going to send back the Rise, which kind of sucks. I mean, dog boots is pretty good, you know? It's super serial. Do I wanna? No, I want to hit here. It'll give me more options next turn. Because I want to get to the point I can double smell. Hey. I heard you like land. Maybe I should have kept that Rise of Extus. Well, you don't know that then, Garth. I can still draw some lands, my friend. I'm willing to bet I could do that. Ugh. I can't Mage Hunter's Onslaught that. I'm going to have to rush a Vitality the Professor. I'm feeling a lot better, Marty. I was feeling pretty rough yesterday. I also hate using defensive combat tricks, but this is the world we live in. Oh. Don't kill my dude, 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 don't kill my dude. I was just super tired. But I feel like I've been infused with vitality today. Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. It's gotta go. The question is, can I attack? And I think the answer is yes. I really want to save this for like a mega fractal. I don't think I'm supposed to scry, but I might. I guess I wouldn't mind having the option. Opponent creates 2 treasure tokens and scries 2. Okay. I guess I don't mind drawing this. Means I don't need to scry. Sparring regimen is quite good, yes. I don't think that's super crazy, AF. It's keeping you a little more open, but I do think Prismari Command's pretty good. I would probably take the Prismari Command, but I could respect it. Kelpie's a good card. Now all we have to do is scry through our entire deck and we can get the Rise of Extus back, which is pretty neat. Yeah, I'm okay with the Karok, I guess. I could shuffle it back in, that's fair too. We've gotten some pretty heavy flood here, but being able to scry 2 lands to the bottom is helping. And now that they've given me the treasure, I feel pretty comfortable scrying through here too. They've gotten scared, that's also pretty good. Arch seems like over time it will be good. I'm still wondering if this is something I need to be super concerned about, because I could Mage Hunter's Onslaught one of them and then threaten to double block the other. I'm not sure what I would do against a giant fractal. Like if I have to here, I can block and learn. But I really don't want to do that, because if I'm shuffling back into forests, which is not wonderful. This getting blown out is scary. This not getting blown out is pretty good, actually. All right, I don't think we scry here. Because this feels stable adjacent. I'm just like, do I need to onslaught this? And I think where we are now, I do. It's a little scary. I'm concerned that they have a berry in books. They've left up exactly enough mana for it. Oh, well, they have a counterspell too, sure. Good old-fashioned counterspell. I also can't hit that many more lands, right? We've got 8, 9, 10, 11. I guess I could still hit a lot of lands. And why do I keep getting wrecked with creative outbursts? I don't like it. This is the first opportunity we've had to do so, Sorrel, but we will be doing it here. Well, we're not going to tap it in step. We're going to tap it now. That at least gets me a 2-1. If I could do it without needing to prevent that damage, we could actually get the 4-4 from the sideboard, but I think I'm too far behind now. I could also consider putting 2 counters on that dude, which isn't crazy. It would let it trade. Yeah, they don't really have enough mana up to interact, and I need it to be bigger. This means I may not be able to scry here. Because if we draw something, I'd like to be able to cast it too. I don't think any of the schools are stronger than the others. I think you want to draft what's even. Oh, good grief. That's just brutal. This was a tough way to flood out. All right, so we're taking 9, 10. I don't think I have a single card I can draw that will save us from this, but we'll try. But I don't think one is like inherently like you need to be drafting this one. They seem relatively balanced. I would expect some of that missed, as there's probably a lot of people that don't know how to play sealed. Yeah, I've got to be able to kill 2 creatures, and there's really nothing in my deck that can do that. Right, like, here's my premium removal spell, and it's not good enough. We're too far behind. Yeah, it's not going to work. That's a shame. Interaction is the key. I mean, yeah, removal spells are good. We got a bunch of them. Not flooding is pretty great, too. All right, we still got a chance to get some more. Let's do our Stream Raiders battle and see if we can at least get this to a 5 winner. I will fortify the line. I've been losing a lot, but still overall enjoying the format. Which I think is a good thing. Rank changed? Yes, it's considerably more satisfying. We went down a point. That was exciting. Like, my goal is to hit Mythic number 1, but I think ideally I'd like to be able to do it this year. That's my goal. I was not anticipating us doing it on the first month, although we were having quite a tear with Kaldheim. Dave with the kills and assists, thanks for the carry. Rewards for Talonsaith, Mosif, Frothy, and Nitriat. And really all of us, because we got the thing with the stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We get guaranteed gold chest going this way, but double question mark this way. I like double question mark. You never know what you're going to fight. It could be all of these orcs. I'm just going to hide back here and shoot them all. Premier Draft is always available for the main set. Now, sometimes they'll have something else available for Premier Draft, but... Alright, we got boots. That's been most of what we've been looking for every game. Let's see if we can draw us a land to go with it, and we're in business. Land ho! Yeah, you gotta watch the auto tapper. It will try to get you. I want to try to play the Blood Researcher and have a land up for Vitality. If they're just going to string removal spells, we can kind of get them. I think they're wondering why I didn't equip. Which may lead them to the right call. I'm doing better today, Richard. It's really nice to draw a forest here. Alright, they know exactly what I have in hand. That's going to make this difficult. But still doable. I don't know how much removal they've got left, but I know I don't want to deal with this card. They know what I have. At least I think they do. Which means this is probably going to wreck me, and their last card will destroy me, but we'll see. Like, I'm expecting another Lash. If they don't have one, I guess we're kind of in it. Okay. They don't have a removal spell. I think since land is a good draw here, I don't actually take that scry unless something terrifying happens. I wouldn't call that terrifying. Although this kind of seems nice. Let's just take it. Good morning, Dave. Yeah, at this point, I'm okay drawing the land. I hope you don't shade us. We'll do this end of turn. I hope you get your shot too, Snus. So they're going to rise my guy. If I rise their guy first, that means I can untap and play a 2/1 flyer, which is something. This is not obviously not what I would want to rise. But I think it may be the right call just because we know what they're getting. Like we can just grab our Inkling summonings and try to beat them to death with that. If they get a Fractal summoning with it, I suppose I could 2-for-1 myself to stop it. They're just getting their own Inkling. That's fine. I feel like we're probably favored here. I'm not scrying upkeep because I don't mind hitting the lands. We can fish them away. I don't think I need to Mortality Spear that right. Like they have to deal with this. Or they're just dead. So short of another rise, they're in a little bit of trouble here. This doesn't regenerate it. Which is kind of cool. There we go. At least 5 wins feels like we're doing something. 1007 doesn't look like we'll hit 1025. Well, I could still fail my way there. I don't want to, but I could. I have the power. Yeah, it's funny. I haven't fallen into percentages yet, but I've been losing a lot initially. I think some of that was just not feeling well. Like, this is not a game. If your focus is winning, is really not a game you should play if you're not feeling 100%. I wish the same for everyone that wants one and most of the people that don't want one. Because the only way to actually get rid of the thing is for kind of everybody to get vaccinated. I guess I should say I would want more people to want one. I want you to want one. That's kind of what I'm trying to communicate. Oh, that is so risky. On the play? I'm going to try it, but I'm nervous. Why do I feel nervous keeping 2-landers? I guess because it's ranked. Like, math is generally saying it's okay for you to keep 2-landers, but if you don't, this sucks. It'd be super swell to be able to hit that. That's what I had yesterday, Chance, but I feel better today. Sucks. But it was going to get us one way or another. I like the block, though. They should have done that. I'm sorry, AF. It is scary out there. There's a lot of people in the States that are treating it like COVID is over and it's done and it's okay to get back to normal life. And I'm like, it's not over, it's not done. We don't have everybody vaxxed yet. And I really needed to land that turn. This sucks because they could just equip that and start wrecking me. I'm going to have to do something I don't like. If we can hit another land and harmonize with a high enough life total, we might be able to get back in the game. I know the numbers show that the mulligan problem is worse in best of one. Like, when you worse, you're even a little more likely to lose than you would be in traditional best of 3. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about this. Like, math works out that you should be okay keeping a 2-lander. I think I'm supposed to attack with this because I can't realistically hold them to try to block it. Like, if they just equip the boots on it, I think I'm terrified. Dude, you were the one arguing me to put stock into the stats 20 minutes ago. Or, I guess, an hour and 20 minutes ago. You can't say don't put too much stock in the stats and then say don't put too much stock in the stats. Well, I mean, you can. It's just not very... It's not a very compelling argument. Okay, we need to hit the land drops, then we can try to recover this stuff. Because if I don't hit the land drops, we're just going to lose. I'm not going to need 2 Carracks. Oh, okay, you were joking. Fair enough. I can accept a joke. All right. So I need to get to the point where I can double spell eventually, which is going to be a while. But if I play this into Mage Hunter's Onslaught, I can play 2 removal spells next turn. Hey, thank you, Actors. I'm glad you're enjoying them. Yeah, I know, and I'm okay with that. I'm just kind of exploring the feelings and the thoughts that happen when you're playing best of one. Thank you for the sub, dude. Oh yeah, please do keep us G-rated. Thank you for catching that, Dave. Y'all spam some cats for Ectors. Thank you very much, my friend. I think we are still quite likely to be dead, but we can see what we can do. Kinetic Onslaught, thank you for the resub. Y'all spam some cats for Kinetic Onslaught. Thank you very much. That was a prime, not a resub. Thank you. How did you find the stream? Alright, I don't think removal spells can get me out of this. Certainly not. If they kill this, it's just over. Yeah, it's game over, man. Because I needed to be able to gain the life to double spell this turn. So where does that put me? Does that put me at Karok? I mean, I think it just puts me dead. We missed too many land drops, which sucks. If I play the Karok and they have lands in hand, they could hit me for 4? Alright, fine. I suppose technically if they attack and I get the block in, I could still use this, but that's not going to happen. Strix launch day? Nice. Are there board wipes in this set? There sure are. I don't have any. Well, glad to have you here, Onslaught. Thank you very much. I feel like overall this was a good draft. We found the open lane. We had a little bit of mana problems in 2 of our losses, and the other one was close. I got him to 1 and or close, basically real close to dead. Which is what I wanted. I think this is still gonna kill me. Yeah, this is not looking so hot. I'm gonna have to exile the 4/4 and try to race 5. Nope, never mind. I believe they have it after all. Well, YouTubers, thank you for tuning in. I'm glad I at least feel better today, and I feel like we're drafting a little better. We still can't quite hit 1024, but I'm working on it, Andy. I'm really working on it. If you've enjoyed the drafts, do consider stopping by the stream sometime. It's at twitch.tv/Semulin. I'll be looking for you here, and we'll see you next time, YouTubers. Chat, say goodbye to YouTube.